Hello, my name is Angela Goffredi, and I'm a Portland State University student, currently anthropology student, currently working on a research project that is designing a way to effectively bring environmental education into classrooms of low-income or underserved student populations in the inner city Portland area. My aim is to be able to instill a sense of place and identity within an outdoor community within the city while bringing an awareness of the outdoors and environmental responsibility and literacy and building in a way that many of these students have not had a background in before. I have two sites. I'm working at Tryon Creek State Park, which is a 645 acres net state natural area in southwest Portland, right by Lewis and Clark College, and right on the border of the city of Lake Oswego. It has hiking trails, biking trails, equestrian trails, as well as offers nature day camp and field trip programs. I am working with a school, St. Andrew Nativity School, which is a tuition-free Portland middle school, Catholic-based Jesuit Catholic middle school, which is 53% Hispanic students, 31% African American students, 11% African immigrant students, and 1% Caucasian or Caucasian or Asian. 100% of these students, however, belong to families who are below the federal poverty line and are 100% free or reduced lunch. Through Tryon Creek State Park, they're eligible for a scholarship program to be able to bring them to the state park to attend the field day camps from 9 to noon and have lunch there at the camp for a reduced price, $2 per student as opposed to 6 or 8. And these courses are to hopefully benefit I'm bringing the students to Tryon Creek State Park in order to give them almost a baby step introduction into an environmental education scenario in order to better prep them for outdoor school. I choose to do this because, particularly with this group of students, or students in the lower income surroundings, there are either problems with accessibility or lack of knowledge, or students just don't have the funding for their schools to be able to take them to programs like this. And particularly at the St. Andrew Nativity School, the 6th graders, which is my focus group that I'm working on, there are 23 students, 28 students, 15 boys, 13 girls. I am currently using to bring them into Tryon Creek State Park to see if they will be able to benefit better from outdoor school from having an introductory session into the outdoor education system. Last year's 6th graders, the current 7th graders, went to outdoor school, and for many of them that was their first environmental, out of the house, outside of a city park where there's swings and a park and dogs. It was their first time being out in the woods, in the forest, and learning out there. And it overwhelmed many of them and for a lot of them, this was something that is not encouraged within their family, or a lot of their families are much larger, and the students of the 6th middle school age are the older children in the family, and many of them have to stay home or to help with the family, or just a whole bunch of other issues. So we were able to successfully get the kids to outdoor school last year, but successfully meaning they went, but mostly they were overwhelmed or they were afraid and didn't glean the amount of information that we had hoped, or felt comfortable to the extent that we had hoped. We, meaning Catherine Miller, science teacher at St. Andrew Nativity School for 6th through 8th grade, and one of my key informants in this process. I choose to do this project with a theoretical base in Yifutuan's topophilia, which basically translates to a human love of the land. Catherine and I both feel the same way about environmental education, which is you go to care about the environment. If you want to care about the environment, you can't learn about it through the classroom. You have to go out into the field. You have to put your hands in the dirt. You have to find your personal reason to care about the environment. And if you do not find something to attach yourself to, or to find something to love about your environment, it won't stick with you. It develops a sense of place. Sense of place is something that the Oregon No Child Left Inside Act actually is one of their main tenets to be able to, or that they are trying to push for, to develop a sense of place, an identity, a connection to your environment, to the Pacific Northwest, specifically as an Oregon State program. Sense of place meaning sense of comfort, sense of identity, sense of building possible just building a comfort in this land that it's yours, that you belong to, that possibly could translate over into your studies later in life, and to know that you are able to do this. So, many of the St. Andrew Nativity School kids go in with a preconceived notion that they already know that they're low income. There's a reason they go to St. Andrew, and that's because they don't have money, and they don't feel that a lot of these career options out there are something that is an option for them. Tryon Creek State Park, another issue that I have, or that the park is currently experiencing, is that a lot of the children who go to visit the day camps or the field trips are from the immediate area, and we are trying to draw kids from all over the city of Portland to be able to go here. I have the background to be able to run this project because I have connections to St. Andrew Nativity School. I am friends with Catherine Miller outside of school, outside of this project as well. My mother had worked at St. Andrew for about 10 years, and I graduated from high school at St. Mary's Academy downtown with about 3 girls from the first class of St. Andrew Nativity School to attend in 2001 to graduate high school in 2008. I have a bit of a background with them from doing volunteer work outside of this research project, and I have been in the classroom doing participant observation with the particular 2014 6th grade class. I have background at Tryon Creek State Park because I took my capstone class for building effective environmental education in fall term 2013 through Portland State University, have developed curriculum for day camps and field trips for them as a job outside of that winter 2013, and have the training to be able to lead the field trips that the 6th graders are attending this year. Adaptable animals and watershed, basic watershed rehabilitation program. I have guided these with other schools before too. So I am qualified. I am in touch with the director, Linda Kozer of Tryon Creek State Park's education program, and Matthew Collins, who is her directly beneath her. And let's see. My basic assumptions about this. I am assuming that for this project to be successful, I will be bringing the 6th graders at St. Andrew Nativity School to Tryon Creek State Park. When they go to Tryon Creek State Park, I am assuming that they are going to be a bit overwhelmed with the situations. A lot of them, it's definitely their first time out in the woods. When I go out there with them, it starts out with an hour-long classroom session inside, and then an hour-and-a-half-long hike out at Tryon Creek State Park. The kids probably aren't going to... The kids come into St. Andrew Nativity School in the first place with the 3rd to 4th grade math, science, and reading level. So a lot of these kids are a little bit behind for a program that's actually designed for 6th graders. So I'm going to assume that I'm going to have to change the curriculum a little bit to be able to bring it down to their level. They're going to be, not bring it down, but you know what I mean. The students are going to be overwhelmed. They're either going to not be responsive or shut down immediately, and then probably open up once we actually get outside and doing hands-on activities. Let's see. One of the ethical concerns I have about working with this particular group of kids is that they are aware of the fact that they are low-income students, and that this is an opportunity for them that many of them would not actually have in otherwise. Many of the students come from, particularly the families from African immigrant students who come from African immigrant families, their parents have a very hard time letting their children go to places that they don't know. Particularly getting their parent, or this will be a later part of the research, but building a rapport with the parents to be able to let them feel comfortable with their children being outside of city, or not outside of city limits. Tryon Creek is in Portland city limits, but being able to take their kids somewhere outside of the classroom without worrying that there's something that's not going to be safe for them, particularly going to outdoor school when they have to leave for multiple days at a time. So getting them feeling comfortable in their surroundings, ethical issues, especially I'm also working with a vulnerable population. They are children, they're middle schoolers, so any form of names, anything along those lines, they're all going to be omitted in the research. Questions are going to be vague, nothing that's going to dig into a personal life. It's just basic scientific knowledge if I ask them. Methodology, I am going to take the kids, of course, to Tryon Creek State Park in groups. I'm going to have them, the 6th graders, I'm going to take 2 classes. The 6th graders from this year are going to go on the watershed management guided camp, and the 6th graders from last year, the current 7th graders, are going to go on an adaptable animals hike. I'm going to administer a pre- and post-test. Pre-test with basic 7th and 6th grade ecological knowledge, and then post-test testing them on the same thing after they've gone back to the park to see if they've retained and learned anything from the trip that specifically speaks to them. 6th graders I have already taken on the trip. I have administered the pre and post tests. I will be getting the results back from the post test later this week. Pre-test I will attach in my draft proposal, or my final proposal. And I have gone and done participant observation in the classroom at St. Andrew Nativity School with both classes, 6th grade boys and 6th grade girls. The classes are separated by boys and girls. And I've done interviews with the instructor, Catherine Miller, as well as I am about to do an interview with my boss out at Tryon Creek, Linda Kozar, concerning how she felt about how the trips have gone. I plan to compare the 6th graders of this year to the 6th graders who went last year, where outdoor school was their first outdoor experience, and they didn't have the experience of going to a smaller state park or a different park before going to outdoor school, seeing if their tests compare, if their behavior comparison is different. 6th graders this year will be attending outdoor school in April. I will not be attending outdoor school with them this year. However, Catherine Miller has invited that I go next year with them, and that was the plan anyway, to be able to go to see how the introduction to the outdoor environment benefits their outdoor school with comparison to 2013 6th graders, 2014 6th graders, see if 2015 6th graders, if they go on more Tryon Creek state hikes, if that benefits them and opens up their comfort. Significance of data. I intend to get results saying that the experience of the outdoors previously to going to outdoor school, which is a big formative experience for many, many middle schoolers, that due to the fact that they actually had experiences in the outdoors, that they felt more comfortable learning, that they were able to focus more on their learning, and that they continue on in their studies learning and acknowledging that science is something that is incredibly important, that is something that they can do, that they are scientists, and that their impact on the world matters, and that they have one, that they too, even though they might not live out in the woods, have an impact on the woods and on the forest and their state and their natural environment, and that they can move on in that realm. Oh man, running out of time. Schedule. This will be a long project. I will be going until, let's see, I will be started in January 2014. This will probably continue up until June 2015. I will be attending outdoor school with next year's 6th graders. We'll be bringing the 6th graders to Tryon Creek State Park 2 times before outdoor school next year. This is a very long-term project now. I will be hopefully working with Tryon Creek State Park throughout this the entire time and actually working with an actual job position. I will be going to Tryon Creek State Park 2 more times, hopefully. Not this school year, but next school year. So, and also going out to conduct interviews the entire time. I will be doing some participant observation in the classroom at St. Andrew after they go to outdoor school this year, the 6th graders. And so I will be in the classroom doing interviews, probably doing interviews if I can with parents of last year's outdoor school attendees, if I'm able to access that and see if there's any way to be able to get their opinion on how it was, how they felt about letting their kids go out into the woods on their own. Man, it's a big project. Hopefully do some pre and post outdoor school parental interviews. So it's going to take quite a while. I'm going to assume it's going to be about a 1.5 year long project, and it's going to be on a monthly basis. Budget for this is going to be relatively expensive, seeing as this is going to be my primary job for a while. Researcher wage intro from the U.S. Department of Labor. Anthropologist starting wage is about $33,000 a year. I will be requesting that in my funding. It's going to be about $380 to go to outdoor school for 3 days, 2 nights, and attend as a chaperone as well as a researcher. It's going to cost me about $1,200 a year for gas, because I live out in St. John's and Tryon Creek is out in southwest Portland. So it's going to take me a while to get there and back each day. $500 for interviews, which what I do is I will be taking my parents and I take my teachers at Tryon Creek and at St. Andrew out to lunch to be able to make the interview process a little bit more comfortable. Probably $50 for writing supplies, pens, papers, outdoor, write in the rain books that don't bleed if I have to write in the rain. this total is going to come to $35,130 per year. I would request to be able to get this project off the ground. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them at the bottom of the